Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. Nice to see you this Sunday at the Sunday Sangha. We are going to first do the prayers, which we do. So if you've got Bhagavad Gita, you can open the introduction page, page 1. Introduction, page 1. It could be a different page on your book, but it's in the introduction. So let's begin. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sargana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sargana Rita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Raise your hands, all of you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today we'll be trying to discuss Shlok number 4.7. Chapter is Transcendental Knowledge. Chapter 4, Shlok number 7. So, if you could repeat after me. Yada yada hi dharmasya Glanir bhavati bharata Abhyuthanam adharmasya Tadatmanam srijamyaham. Again, let's do. Yada yada hi dharmasya Glanir bhavati bharata Abhyuthanam adharmasya Tadatmanam srijamyaham. So, who would like to repeat? Say this. Would you like to say?
Yeah.
Go on.
Yada yada hi dharmasya Glanir bhavati bharata.
Yeah.
Glanir bhavati bharata Abhyuthanam adharmasya Tadatmanam shrijamyaham.
Wonderful. Let us all give him a big clap. What's your name?
Javian.
Lovely. Welcome. So anybody else would like to repeat? Say this shloka. Mataji?
Yada yada hi dharmasya
Yada hi dharmasya
Glanir bhavati bharata
Glanir bhavati bharata
Abhyuthanam dharmasya
Abhyuthanam adharmasya
Tadatmanam shrijamyaham.
Tadatmanam srijamyaham. Anybody else? One last.
Yada yada hi dharmasya
Glanir
bhavati bharata
bhavati bharata
Abhyuthanam dharmasya
Abhyuthanam adharmasya
Tadatmanam srijamyaham.
Tadatmanam srijamyaham. So let's do the word to word meaning. Yada yada, whenever and wherever. He, certainly. Dharmasya, of religion. Glanih, discrepancies. Bhavati, become manifested. Bharata, O descendant of Bharat. Abhyuthanam, predominance. Adharmasya, of irreligion. Tada, at that time. Atmanam, self. Srijami, manifest. Aham, I. And the translation goes like this. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Mukam kaloti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamam vande Shri Gurum Dintarinam Paramananta Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishvam Hari Om Tat Sat. So we are going to be discussing a very famous verse which was made very famous by one of the TV serials made in India in the late 80s, 90s, Mahabharat. So anyone who hadn't even heard of Bhagavad Gita, thanks to the title track of this serial, they were fortunate enough to hear the shloka. This shloka which we just said, and thanks to hearing that shloka, I'm sure many of them, okay, there was no internet at that time, but still they must have reached out to the copies of Bhagavad Gita, or the parents discussed with the children and children discussed with the parents and grandparents and vice versa. So this is the magic Krishna has given in our hands in Kali Yuga, that even mistakenly we think of Krishna, discuss Krishna, Bhagwan is present in front of us. He is there. He is there in each of us, as we know, as Paramatma. But every time we sing of Bhagwan, He is there. And at this time when we are talking about Bhagavad Gita, we can't see, but there are Devi Devtas who are around us. So this is the greatness of the holy name. So I'll read few lines of the purport. Purport is by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The word Sujami is significant here. Sujami cannot be used in the sense of creation, because according to the previous verse, there is no creation of the Lord's form or body, since all of the forms are eternally existence. Therefore, Sujami means that the Lord manifests Himself as He is. Although the Lord appears on schedule, namely at the end of the Dwapar Yuga of the 28th millennium of the 7th Manu in one day of Brahma. Now, in Shloka 4.4, if you have been coming to the Sunday Sangha, or if you have been familiar with Bhagavad Gita and you've been reading yourself, doing self-study at homes, your Swadhyaya, you must have read that Arjun asked the question about sun god coming earlier than Krishna. So it's a question mark, isn't it? How come sun god is coming before Krishna? So Arjun is doing all these questions for us. He knows everything. He's a great devotee of Krishna. He's taking parts in the Leelas again and again with him. But everything is happening in Bhagavad Gita for our benefit. So this is the beauty of the devotees, that whatever they will do for the benefit of for others, because Krishna loves his devotees. And you can't do any service greater than preaching the name of Lord Krishna. And in verse 4.5, Krishna said to Arjuna that I remember my previous life, but you don't. So can you see the narrative of the shlokas, how beautifully Krishna has woven, has weaved each verse in a very scientific, in a very systematic way. And then in 4.6, he talks about his own position. Krishna talks about his own position, says that he remembers because his body is transcendental. Our body is material. It has a start, it has an end. It needs a lot of things to survive. It cannot survive without air, it can't survive without water, it can't survive without the sunshine and food. But Lord, He is transcendental. Transcendental, He is above the jurisdictions of the material nature. Because material nature is also the creation of Lord Krishna. She also comes under His jurisdiction. And Krishna says that I am the Lord of all living beings. I come by my own nature, my own transcendental form, and my mercy. Isn't it wonderful that Lord comes by His own mercy? And we need mercy at every moment of our life. If there's no air, then we are helpless. That's the first mercy we need from Lord. And if there isn't sunshine for so many days in succession, many of us become under the weather, like we say in this country, we get ill. And water, what to speak of water, and food, and so on. So now in this verse 4.7, Lord will describe why He appears in this material world. So we have read the word dharmasya. So there is always fight between dharma and adharma within us, in each of us. What is this fight? The fight between the lower self and the higher self. Because this is Kali Yuga. We have the good, the bad, the evil and the nice all inside us. So there's always a tussle between these two within us. And both of these qualities are prompting us to act in a certain way. And it is reflected in the external world, between the good and the bad. So what is happening outside is actually a reflection of what is happening inside. When we are happy, everything seems perfect. When we are healthy, everybody seems so joyous, so joyful. When we are, for say a certain day, not very happy, everything looks bad. Though everything might be the same as it was. It is a reflection of what's going on within us. So to understand this, what we need to do, to understand dharma, adharma, what do we need to do? We need to look at the scripture. Scriptures are given to us by the Lord. Like Bhagavad Gita is the Vani of Lord Himself. This is the dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna. Can you have some tissue? All right. So dharma, this word dharma has got many meanings. Could anyone tell me meaning of dharma? What comes to the head straight when they hear the word dharma? Yes?
The eternal truth and righteousness.
Very good. Anybody else would like to have a go? Thank you. Anybody else would like to have a go at what's the meaning of dharma? Righteousness. So, dharma, sorry, anybody else said anything? Duties, okay. So, Srila Prabhupada has said that dharma refers to our essential nature. We all have a nature we are born with, though we all have got the similar kind of body because we are all made of the 5 elements. We have similar needs, our physiology is similar, but what distinguishes us from each other is our essential nature. So, if you think about it, Prabhupada is right. Yeah? For example, Prabhupada's, Krishna says in chapter 18 that Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So, here, the meaning of the word dharma is a little bit different. He says, leave all the dharmas aside and come into my sharan or surrender unto me. So essentially, dharma refers to 3 different things, which is to love Krishna. Krishna is spiritual by nature, we just talked, and we are not spiritual, we are, because our consciousness is at the material nature. Because we are material bodies, everyone has got material consciousness, and we all have material dharma. What is material dharma? We all have to go out and work, do something to survive. So we are all in material consciousness. We have to, and this material consciousness is also essential. If it wasn't for this, there will be no harmony in the world. Everybody will be doing whatever they want to do. At least they have got this material consciousness, so they are doing something to fend for themselves, for their families. So there's some harmony in the world due to that. And this is called Swadharma as well. And there is Varnashram Dharma. And Varnashram Dharma is different occupations all of us have. This Varnashram Dharma is going to gradually purify us. If we are following our Varnashram Dharma, then gradually we are going to get purification. Now there's Sadhana Bhakti. You know what is Sadhana Bhakti? Mataji would like to say it. What's Sadhana Bhakti? Anyone? Say louder. Practicing bhakti. Okay. Now, sadhana bhakti is a transitional phase. Because we all start, for example, from the very kindergarten stage of the sadhana bhakti, and we slowly progress. We're practicing sadhana bhakti to reach somewhere, to progress. But sadhana bhakti is not our eternal dharma. What is our eternal dharma? Bhakti. When I read that, I was like, I was confused a little bit. Sadhana bhakti is not our dharma. Bhakti is a very tender. Sadhana bhakti is like a practice we have to do to get ourselves situated in the bhakti eventually. So Srila Prabhupada has said in the purport, like we just read, that Srijami is significant. Srijami is used in the sense of creation. That the Lord manifests himself as he is. So now we understand why Bhagavad Gita as it is. So it's all about knowing Krishna as he is. So in this purport, later on, Prabhupada also says, Dharmastu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. It is given by God. Essential principle is Lord wants souls to return back home. Back home where? Back to himself, back to Godhead. So it's all getting clear, isn't it? As we study Prabhupada's purpose, line by line, scrutinizingly, everything is there. And here his lectures, here the lectures of the other devotees, everything becomes so clear to us. So what the Lord wants bhakti from us, and Lord wants us to come back to him. And has Lord provided all the facilities for that? Yes. So, sometimes Lord will come personally into the material creation. Sometimes he will send his son, sometimes he will send a friend, sometimes his servant, or sometimes he will come in a disguised form. God will not be like the God we know in the scriptures. For example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came as devotee. He didn't come as a full-fledged God. So God will come as and when he is required to come, and he will come what is the need of the time, what is the need of the hour. According to that, his avatar, his incarnation will be there. So, for example, when Lord Buddha came, he defied everything. He looked different. He practiced different. All he came was to establish the principle that don't kill the animals, and he wanted to elevate the consciousness of the people, at least from the lower modes to the higher mode. So God will come as per the need of the hour, and he will look like as it is needed. Like we had Vara Avatar's tale last week, and then there's Matsya Avatar. The Lord has come in all species, in all different forms. So when you are starting to understand Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, everything looks very, very deep and mystical. But as you go on studying, everything becomes clear. So, what it is at the moment, Krishna consciousness is everywhere. Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita, in his purpose, that Krishna consciousness is everywhere. And the purpose of these incarnations is to arouse that Krishna consciousness in us. So all of us have got the Krishna consciousness within us, but it is covered at the moment, covered with material consciousness, because material consciousness, we are made of material energy, and material energy is all around us, and most of us are deeply situated in the material consciousness. So we have to uncover this. And how do we uncover this? We uncover it by chanting the holy name, like we were chanting earlier. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. And also we do the collective chanting, which is Sankirtan, following the Sankirtan movement. So when we chant individually, it is japa on the beats. And when we chant together, it's like in a Sankirtan festival, or like we were chanting earlier on, it is the collective chanting. So we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago, and he left 8 verses for us, Shikshashtakam. He didn't, Lord didn't need to leave, any big literatures, because he had already left Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. So Lord is clever. Lord knows that what he has left and what is left. But if you read these 8 verses of Shikshashtakam, they look only 8, but they're enough for our time and our buddhis, because we haven't got that much scope of knowledge, we haven't got that much concentration, and we are forgetful, and we are lazy, misguided by our own minds, never mind anybody else. So Lord only left 8 verses for us. So isn't Lord merciful?
Yes.
If you can't understand Srimad Bhagavatam, if you feel that's too much for you, then at least try to understand these through the classes or with the help of a senior devotee. So both chanting and Srimad Bhagavatam were forgotten in the Kali Yuga. So that's why Mahaprabhu had to come. So it's getting clear, isn't it? That Lord is going to come to us as and when the Yuga and the people in that Yuga need Him. You know, this verse which we are discussing now, 4.7, it's very, very important. Dharma is religion, if we check in the dictionary. You know, the closest meaning to dharma is religion. And it also means faith. And I can have one faith, another person can have another faith, and somebody else can have another faith. So then, what's the point of preaching? Everyone has got their own faith, then what's the point of preaching? But what it is, everyone has got their own faith which they are happy with. So one would say, what's the point of Krishna's coming? Because everyone has got some kind of faith. There's no need for Krishna to come. So Krishna descends on this planet. He's told us in this verse that I come to establish the dharma when there is a decline in dharma. So if we accept our own dharma, all of us, what will happen? There will be adharma, isn't it? There is no law. For example, you are in a country and the rule is to drive on the left, and the other country says drive on the right. And if we go to a country where the rule is to drive on the right and we drive on the left, so what will the law of that country do? They will arrest us, penalize us, give us fines. So this is it. Lord has created us, the jivas. Lord has created the creation, and Lord has got a law as well. So when I spoke about the law of the country, then it becomes clear to us, isn't it? That why we need the dharma, why we don't need the adharma. So everything has got its dharma, like I said earlier. Sugar has got a dharma. What's the dharma of the sugar? Sweet. What's the dharma of the chili? Hot.
Spicy.
Now, if I say, if the chili becomes sweet and sugar becomes hot, you will be like, what's happened here? That's not the dharma of chili. That's not the dharma of the sugar. So everybody has to follow their dharma. Okay? So, you know what happens? To re-establish the dharma, the Lord has to send his representatives in the form of guru. For us, it's guru, isn't it? Krishna can't be everywhere, can he? Our universe is only the size of a mustard seed, they say. There are innumerable universes like ours. So Krishna has got so much to look after. So what he is doing, he's got some special representatives he sends in the form of guru. For us, we have got our guru, and then other incarnations come in the form of disguised incarnation like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and other incarnations like we told about the Matsya Avatar, Varaha Avatar, Kurma Avatar, and Buddha and so forth. So all has been documented in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Krishna has got only two business. This is also something Prabhupada repeats. What are the two business of Krishna? Can anyone tell me? The two businesses of Krishna are to protect and to punish. We are all his children. So, those of us who have got children, what is our duty as parents? To protect and to reprimand them if they are going wrong. So this is the duty of Krishna. I shouldn't say duty. This is the only two business of Krishna. I think Prabhupada has to use the right word, business. These are the only two businesses. So Krishna says that he is Bhutanam Ishvara. Ishvara means he is the controller of all the entities, living entities, all the species, whether it's human, animals, any species, living in water, living in air. So when there is some discrepancy, there is some fault in the execution of their dharma, because every jiva has got his own dharma. When they're not executing the dharma properly, what happens? It becomes a dharma, and then Krishna has to advent. Then Krishna has to interfere, then Krishna has to come, and then Krishna has to sort it out. Because after all, we are all his children. So, like the law is going to reward the law-abiding citizen and is going to punish the citizen who is not going according to the law of the land. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, verse chapter 20, verse 108, in Madhya Leela, it says, Jivera Swarupahaya Nitya Krishna Das. Jiva is the living entity. It's referring to the jivas, us, the humans. What is our Swarup? What is our constitutional position? We are the eternal servants of Krishna. Nitya means eternal, and Dasa is servant. But what disease we have got? We want to be the Lord. We go exactly opposite to what the Lord wants us to do. So we don't want to surrender to Krishna. We want to surrender to Maya, material energy. Because that is more easy, that is more pleasing to us. We can see the results there and then. We eat something nice, we feel happy. We go somewhere nice, we enjoy. We get the gratification. Because we have got senses. Being human beings, we have got senses. And our senses, they feel gratified straight away. And we feel happy. But bhakti is subtle. We can't see. The results come. The purification, as the purification comes in ourselves, the results are seen. We get away from the Maya. We enjoy the higher taste. Like we all have come here. It's not easy coming. When you open your front door in the morning, it was cold. You could feel it snowing somewhere.
Cold and rainy.
Yes. But you still look at these little kids. Instead of sitting in front of the television or hassling their parents, take us somewhere out, they chose to come here. So this is higher taste. Lower taste is there in all of us, no problem. The moment we shut this session, we all can go back to our lower taste. But we are doing something for Krishna that is very pleasing to Krishna, because Krishna says when he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 plus years ago, in this verse, Jivera hi Swarupahaya Nitya Krishna Das. So when we open different scriptures, this has been documented in different ways. In Bhagavad Gita, there's a dialogue between Krishna and Arjun. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is devotees, their pastimes, their leelas, and what they went through those